Did you know Japanese students clean their own classrooms, serve lunch, and solve problems all without adults? Sounds strict? Actually, these quiet routines are shaping some of the world's most creative minds. So how does a culture of rules and order give rise to imagination? Let's take a look at 10 uniquely Japanese school practices that quietly nurture creativity every single day. Section 1: Cleaning time, building awareness and ownership. In most countries, students never clean their classrooms. They simply leave when class is over, and someone else comes in to tidy up. But in Japan, things are very different. From a young age, children are expected to clean their own classrooms, hallways, even bathrooms. There are no janitors in most elementary schools. Instead, students sweep floors, wipe desks, and take out the trash together, every day. But this isn't just about cleaning. It's about awareness. It's about responsibility. When students take care of their own environment, they begin to notice things. They see what's out of place. They notice what others might need. And they understand how their actions affect the group. This daily routine develops a kind of quiet discipline, a sense of shared space, a habit of observation, and surprisingly, that habit can fuel creativity. Think about IT. Creativity doesn't start with wild ideas. It starts with noticing what's missing, noticing what could be better. And in Japan, even a broom becomes a tool for creative awareness. In your country, do students clean their own schools? Would it change the way they see their environment? Let us know in the comments. Because sometimes, the simplest habits shape the most powerful minds. Section 2: Craft-based learning, creativity through hands-on expression. In Japan, creativity doesn't only live in art class. It lives in something called Zako, a subject combining drawing, crafting, and building. It's not just about making something pretty. It's about learning how to turn ideas into form. From elementary school, students use clay, wood, paper, wire, paint, and even found objects. They make masks, design posters, carve stamps, build models, and fold origami. Every piece is a project planned, shaped, and presented with care. But here's the key: there's no correct answer. Students are encouraged to explore, to experiment, and to express what they feel. There are instructions, yes, but they're loose. The goal isn't perfection, it's discovery. Zuko teaches more than artistic skill. It builds confidence. It teaches problem solving. And it helps students understand that their ideas can take shape even with simple tools. In many countries, art is seen as optional or only for talented kids. But in Japan, crafting is for everyone. It's part of the curriculum. It's a space where mistakes are okay, and imagination is celebrated. Have you ever had a class where doing with your hands was more important than getting the right answer? That's what Japanese students get week after week. And from those quiet classrooms full of glue and scissors, a generation of creative thinkers begins to grow. Section 3: Calligraphy, cultivating precision and aesthetic sensibility. In Japan, there's a class where silence fills the room. No one speaks. No one moves quickly. All you hear is the gentle sound of brush on paper. This is shuji, or calligraphy, a practice where students write characters using traditional ink and brush. But it's more than just writing neatly. It's about balance. It's about rhythm. It's about connecting body, mind, and meaning through motion. Each stroke requires control. Each character must feel alive. Too fast, and the ink splashes. Too slow, and the line fades. Students must breathe with the brush. Focus. Adjust. Try again. Calligraphy teaches patience, precision, and presence. It turns writing into an art form. It turns language into design. But more than anything, it slows students down. It gives them space to reflect, to feel, and to concentrate in a world that moves too fast. In many countries, handwriting is disappearing, replaced by keyboards and screens. But Japan preserves this ancient discipline, not because it's useful, but because it's meaningful. Have you ever tried writing not just to communicate, but to express emotion through form? Japanese students do that, brushstroke by brushstroke. And through this quiet repetition, They learn how beauty can emerge from focus and restraint. Section 4 School Lunch Culture Creating Through Sharing and Gratitude. In many countries, school lunch means fast food, plastic trays, and rushing through the meal. But in Japan, lunchtime is part of the education, and it's filled with quiet creativity. Here, students don't just eat lunch. They serve it, they organize it, they clean up after it together. Each day, a group of students wears white aprons and hats, distributes the food, and makes sure everything runs smoothly. It's not punishment, it's part of learning. And before eating, everyone says a word. Itadakimasu. It means, I humbly receive. It's not just let's eat. It's a moment of gratitude for the farmers, the cooks, and the animals and plants that gave their lives. This daily habit teaches mindfulness. It creates a connection between food and people. It reminds students that meals are shared, not taken for granted. Even the act of eating becomes creative, not in the sense of fancy plating, but in how students manage time, space, and roles together. In a world where speed and convenience dominate, Japan's school lunch teaches patience, teamwork, and reflection. Have you ever had to serve lunch to your classmates? Did it change how you felt about the meal? In Japan, gratitude is practiced, not just taught. And through that, even lunchtime becomes a lesson in empathy and awareness. Section 5 Classroom Meetings Designing Rules and Solutions. What happens when students make their own rules? In Japan, the answer comes in the form of a weekly meeting called Gakuakai. It means classroom meeting, but it's so much more than a talk. In these meetings, students discuss real issues. Someone forgot to return a pencil. The trash isn't being sorted properly. Someone's been speaking too loudly during reading time. But instead of a teacher solving it, the students talk. They listen. They reflect. They try to understand the cause. Then, together, they propose solutions. No one is scolded. No one is blamed. It's not about punishment. It's about responsibility. Students learn that rules aren't just things to follow. They're things they can shape. They learn that problems aren't always someone else's fault. Sometimes, they're chances to grow. These meetings foster critical thinking, emotional intelligence, and social creativity. Students learn to speak calmly, to disagree politely, to reach consensus. Have you ever been part of a group where everyone's voice mattered equally? Where even the quietest opinion was welcome? In Japan, elementary students experience that every week, and through it, they gain a powerful lesson, not just in solving problems, but in designing better communities. Section 6 Independent Research from Curiosity to Creation. Imagine being told, you can research anything you want, any topic, any method, just make sure it's yours. In Japan, every summer, elementary and middle school students receive a unique assignment called GU Kinkyu Free Research. It's not a worksheet. It's not a list of questions. It's a blank canvas. Students choose their own topic. Dinosaurs, volcanoes, the sound of cicadas, why cats purr. They read, experiment, build, and write. Sometimes, they even create full science projects or handmade books. There's no right answer, no standard format, just one goal: explore what interests you. This isn't just homework, it's a rare invitation to think like a scientist, a writer, a designer, even a child again. To wonder, to test, and to create something from nothing. In many countries, summer break is for rest or review. But in Japan, it becomes a time to cultivate curiosity, to turn boredom into discovery, to turn questions into expression. What if your school gave you a month to study anything you wanted? Would you build something? Write a story? Invent a game? These projects may not be perfect, but they're real. They're messy, personal, and full of imagination. And in a world of standardized education, Japan dares to say, let the child decide. Section 7 Creative Expression in Sports Day. Moving together, thinking together. When you think of a school sports day, what comes to mind? Races? Jump ropes? Tug of war? In Japan, sports day called undokai includes all of that. But there's one part that feels more like theater than athletics. It's called hyogenthy expression performance. Instead of competing, students move in harmony. They dance. They form shapes. They create patterns as music plays across the field. Sometimes it's a fan dance. Sometimes a coordinated flag routine. Sometimes it's even large-scale group gymnastics, where dozens of students move as one. It's not about winning. It's about expressing something together. Emotion, story, unity. Weeks of practice go into a performance that lasts just minutes. But those minutes stay in memory for years. Because every step, every pose, every rhythm was created by the group. Not just for the audience, but for each other. This teaches more than coordination. It teaches trust, responsibility, and the joy of creating something bigger than yourself. Have you ever worked on a performance where the entire group had to think and move as one? Did it feel different from simply playing a game? In Japan, even sports can become a stage, a place where motion becomes meaning, and where teamwork becomes art. Section 8 Wall newspapers designing and presenting information together. In many classrooms around the world, the walls are filled with posters made by teachers. But in Japan, the walls speak with the voices of students. One common tradition is the Keibe Shinbun wall newspaper. It's a student-made poster that informs, reflects, and expresses. And it's more than decoration. It's an exercise in collaborative creativity. Working in small teams, students choose a topic. It could be school news, local history, environmental issues, or even favorite books. They research, discuss, and divide roles. Writers, editors, illustrators, designers. They handwrite the text, draw their own charts, add photos and decorations, and then they display their final product for the whole class to read. This process teaches far more than just writing. It teaches planning. It teaches layout and design. It teaches how to communicate clearly together. There's no software, no templates, no copy-paste. Just paper, pens, and teamwork. Have you ever had to make a poster with others, where your ideas had to blend, not compete? That's what Japanese students do regularly. They learn that sharing information is an act of creativity, and that even on a classroom wall, your voice can reach others, if you build it with care. Section 9 Silent reading time stimulating imagination daily. Every morning in many Japanese schools, there's a quiet moment that feels almost sacred. No loud voices, no rushing, just the sound of pages turning, one after another. This is morning reading time. For about 10 or 15 minutes, all students, sometimes even teachers, read silently. No assignments, no grades, no pressure, just reading, for the sake of reading. The books are chosen freely, but they must be proper books, novels, biographies, essays, or science books. Not comics, not magazines. The goal is to build focus and imagination through real reading. And it works. This daily routine strengthens attention span. It gives children a space to reflect, to visualize, to travel through stories with their minds. Some classes also have read aloud time, where teachers or students take turns reading stories out loud. It's not about analysis. It's about rhythm, voice, and emotional connection. In a world full of noise and distraction, Japan gives students a moment of stillness every day. Not as a break from learning, but as a deeper way to engage with it. Did your school ever begin the day with quiet reading? How might your thinking change if it did? In Japan, imagination isn't rushed. It's quietly watered, one book, one page, one morning at a time. Section 10 Field trips and reflection reports learning through experience. In many countries, a school field trip is just a fun day out. You go somewhere exciting, take pictures, eat lunch, and go home. But in Japan, it's something more. When students go on field trips, whether to museums, factories, farms, or cultural sites, they don't just observe, they absorb, and afterwards, they write. They're asked to create reflection reports. What did you see? What surprised you? What questions did you have? What did this experience make you feel? It's not about testing memory. It's about processing meaning. Students turn moments into insights, and experiences into expression. They may draw diagrams, write summaries, even compose short essays. The trip doesn't end when they return to school. It ends when they've reflected, interpreted, and created something from it. This practice trains observation, memory, communication, and emotional intelligence. And most importantly, it shows that doing is only half of learning. The other half is reflection. Have you ever gone somewhere, but only later realized how much it meant to you? That's what Japanese schools encourage. Not just going and seeing, but thinking deeply afterward. In Japan, a bus ride becomes a classroom, a museum becomes a canvas, and a moment in nature becomes a story. Because when we learn to reflect, we learn to create meaning. What do you think about this part of Japanese culture? Is it the same where you live or totally different? I'd love to hear your thoughts or questions in the comments. And if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe. See you in the next one.